Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about one of those classic, almost universal questions that comes up in, well, nearly every social or professional setting. So what do you do?
Ah, yes, that one.
It often feels like it's competing with, how was your weekend? For the most common opening line, doesn't it?
It really does. It's right up there.
You know, when I think about that question, it often feels like a mini performance, maybe, for so many of us, especially when navigating it in English. The answer can feel tangled.
Tangled is a good word for it.
Yeah, like how do we accurately translate our job titles? Or how do we explain those complex daily tasks we perform without sounding either too simplistic, like we just do stuff, or utterly confusing, sort of lost in jargon?
Exactly. It's a real balancing act.
I've often wondered how to shift it from just listing a title to, well, truly owning our narrative and making it a genuine connection.
That's precisely why we're taking this deep dive today. Our mission really isn't just about giving you direct translations or a shopping list of words. It's about building confidence, that feeling of knowing you can articulate your professional identity with ease and impact. We want to provide clear, effective structures
Structures, okay.
that allow you to move beyond those vague answers and truly engage and inform about who you are professionally. It's about showing the world the incredible professional you are
With clarity.
with clarity and impact and, yeah, without that hesitation we sometimes feel.
I love that framing because it really is about more than just vocabulary, isn't it? It's about empowerment.
Absolutely. Empowering you to tell your story.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of how to truly shine when talking about your work.
Let's do it.
Let's start right at the foundation, the essential vocabulary. Think of it like a master chef preparing a gourmet meal.
Okay, I like that analogy.
They don't just grab any old ingredients, right? They select the finest, the most suitable. Without the core words, you're just sort of gesturing wildly.
And your professional meal might end up a bit bland.
Yeah, exactly. Having the right vocabulary for your job and responsibilities is like having the right tools for any job. It just makes everything so much easier, more precise.
Couldn't agree more. It's fundamental.
So let's dive into some common job titles first. These are like the cornerstones of your intro.
The label.
We're talking about titles like accountant, engineer, and that could be a software engineer, civil engineer, lots of types, a teacher, doctor or nurse, lawyer. Pretty standard ones.
Right. The ones most people recognize immediately.
Then you have manager, which again can be a project manager or maybe a sales manager. Analyst, like a financial analyst or a data analyst.
It's analysts these days.
Oh, definitely. Developer, programmer, designer, a graphic designer or UX UI designer.
Yeah.
An assistant, maybe an executive assistant, personal assistant.
Important roles.
Absolutely. And of course, the incredibly diverse world of an entrepreneur or business owner and the, well, ubiquitous freelancer.
Can't forget freelancers.
So take a moment right now, you listening, think about your own title. How does it translate? Is it on this list? If not, how would you put it into these common terms? It's a good first step.
That's a crucial starting point because your title is often the very first thing people hear. But beyond what you are, it's also important to convey where you are, your professional environment.
Ah, the context. Good point.
So let's talk about the workplace vocabulary. These terms provide that crucial context. We use words like company or firm for your organization.
Company, firm, yeah.
You might work in an office or be part of a specific department like marketing or human resources, often just called HR.
Everyone knows HR.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're likely part of a team. If it's a large organization, it might have a headquarters or HQ for short,
Q, right?
which is the main office, or various branches, those smaller local offices. And increasingly, especially these days, many people talk about remote work or say they work from home.
Very common now.
Extremely. So these terms immediately give a listener a sense of your professional setup, painting a broader picture than just the title.
That context is absolutely vital, isn't it? It really frames the whole picture.
Okay.
Okay, but for me, this next part is where you can really elevate your description, make it impactful.
Okay.
Action verbs. These are your best friends, seriously. They transform a bland description into something dynamic, professional.
They really do. They add the energy.
Yeah. They're what make your responsibilities sound like actual achievements, not just tasks.
They are truly transformative. I mean, think about the difference. Saying, I do reports.
Slight chuckle. Yeah, I do reports.
It's technically correct, sure, but
Yeah.
it tells us very little about your skill or your contribution. Compare that to, I analyze data and create detailed reports.
Huge difference. Suddenly sounds much more important.
You immediately get a sense of responsibility, of expertise. These verbs imply skill, proactive engagement, not just passive activity.
So what are some good ones?
Well, some of the most powerful ones you can use include manage, lead, develop, create, analyze, support, organize, coordinate, oversee, which basically means to supervise,
Oversee. Good one.
implement, and handle. Each of these verbs paints a much more vivid picture of your involvement and the value you bring.
Handle, yeah, like I handle customer complaints. Sounds much better than I talk to customers.
Exactly. It implies management and resolution.
Okay, so we've got the essential building blocks, the nouns for your role, your workplace, and those powerful verbs. Now, let's move into crafting that core statement, what you actually say about what you do and where you do it.
Putting it all together.
Exactly. This is where you put those job titles and workplace words into action, often starting quite simply. I'm AN, job title.
Simple and direct.
Like I'm an engineer. Or you could say, I work as a AN job title. Maybe I work as a project manager.
Right. The initial introduction is usually straightforward.
Yeah.
But then we get into saying where you work, and this is where those notorious prepositions often trip people up.
Prepositions. The bane of many learners' existence.
They can be tricky. So for specific company names, the most common choices are, I work at company name, or I work for company name.
At or for. Okay.
Both are very common, often interchangeable in many contexts. So, I work at Google, or I work for a big tech company. Both sound perfectly natural.
So at Google, for Google. Got it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because prepositions in English often describe relationships, connections, not just literal locations. Understanding that nuance is key to sounding natural.
That's a great point. It's not just about physical place. Okay, what about departments or industries?
Right. It shifts a bit there. You'd usually say, I work in the department industry.
Okay.
So I work in the marketing department, or I work in finance, or I work in tech, I work in education.
So you can combine these, right? Give a nice little overview.
Absolutely. Like, I'm a software developer, and I work at a startup in Sao Paulo.
Nice. Or I work as a financial analyst for a multinational bank.
Exactly. You're layering the information. Now, this brings us to a really crucial point, and it's often a bit of an aha moment for learners. Truly understanding those prepositions and avoiding common mistakes.
Okay, let's hear the common mistakes. This is always useful.
Well, a classic error is saying, I work in Google.
Oh, yeah, I hear that one.
It's incorrect. It sounds a bit like you're literally inside the building, maybe, or even inside the word Google, which is weird.
Definitely a unique workplace.
Right. The correct way is, I work at Google, or I work for Google.
At or for the company name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason is we use at or for when referring to specific company names. In is generally reserved for physical locations, like I work in an office, or for departments, I work in HR, or for entire industries, like I work in technology.
That's such a vital distinction. It seems like such a small word, in versus at, but it really makes a difference in sounding natural.
It absolutely does. It's one of those subtle markers.
Okay. Any other common pitfalls with this basic structure?
Another one I hear sometimes is, my work is engineer.
Yeah.
Direct translation, maybe.
Possibly. It isn't quite right in English. While work can refer to the activity or the place, and job is the position, the most natural, direct way to state your profession is simply, I am an engineer.
Just, I am a, or I am an.
Exactly. Avoid phrases like, my work is engineer. Just state directly, I am a graphic designer. I am a teacher. It's simple, elegant, and it's what native speakers use almost automatically.
Okay, that's clear. So, I am a, plus your job title, and I work at for a company, or I work in a department or industry. Got the basics down?
Perfect.
Okay, now that we've got the core statement and the company context sorted, this is where you really start to, paint the picture of what you actually do.
Getting into the detail.
Exactly. This segment is all about detailing your responsibilities. And as we talked about earlier, this is where using those strong action verbs truly shine.
Absolutely crucial here.
Think of your verbs as like the highlight reel of your job description, the bolded accomplishments on your resume. That's a great way to put it, because it's incredibly tempting, maybe easier, to stick with weak, generic verbs like I do or I make.
I make reports. I do meetings.
Right. And while they're not technically wrong, they just don't convey the real impact or complexity of your work. Consider the huge difference again. I do reports versus I analyze data and create detailed reports for management.
Night and day. The second one sounds so much more professional, more informative.
It clearly demonstrates your skills. Words like manage, lead, develop, oversee, implement. They don't just describe a task. They imply a significant level of skill and responsibility.
So maybe a good tip is before you even start talking about your job,
Yes,
pause and think of, say, 3 or 4 action verbs that really capture the core of what you do.
that's brilliant advice. Absolutely. Having those ready in your mind can transform your description from passive and generic to active and specific instantly.
It's like, why just say you build something when maybe you innovate or architect it?
Precisely. Choose the verb that best reflects the action. Okay, so now let's get into some essential phrases that will help you string those verbs and responsibilities together smoothly.
Okay, let's hear them. Phrase number 1.
First up, I'm responsible for. You can follow this with an ing verb or a noun.
Okay, examples?
Sure, I'm responsible for managing the social media accounts using the ing verb. Or, I'm responsible for the development of new products using the noun. Both work perfectly.
Responsible for managing. Responsible for the development. Got it.
What's another one?
Another really versatile phrase is, my job involves, again, you can use an ing verb or a noun here.
So similar
Sure,
structure.
very similar. For example, my job involves talking to clients every day, or my job involves a lot of teamwork. This one often gives a broader sense of your daily activities, highlighting the ongoing nature of things.
Okay, my job involves, makes sense. What about if you're the boss?
Ah, yes. For those who hold leadership roles or have total accountability for something I'm in charge of, is your go-to phrase. In charge of.
Right.
Sounds more authoritative.
It does. It implies a higher level of responsibility, of authority. For example, I'm in charge of the entire marketing department. It leaves no doubt.
Okay. And for maybe more specific tasks, not the whole department?
Good question. For more specific tasks or areas you manage, you can use I handle or I deal with.
Handle or deal with.
Yeah. So I handle all the customer complaints or I deal with international suppliers. These are very direct. They tell you exactly what falls under your purview, and they often imply problem solving or management of a particular area.
Handle sounds like you're managing it, dealing with it sounds like you're interacting with it. Maybe a subtle difference.
Exactly. There can be a subtle difference. Handle often implies taking care of it completely, while deal with might focus more on the interaction or negotiation aspect.
Interesting. Okay, one more. Maybe for routines.
Yes, if you want to give someone a snapshot of your typical day, use. A typical day for me includes.
Oh, I like that one.
Right.
Very practical.
It is. It's great for describing routine activities. For instance, a typical day for me includes checking emails, attending a few meetings, and writing code. It really helps someone visualize your professional life.
Checking emails, attending meetings, writing code. Yeah, sounds like a lot of people's days.
Chuckles. It does, doesn't it? But the key here, with all these phrases, is to choose the one that best fits the context and the specific responsibility you're highlighting.
Right, choose the right tool for the job.
Exactly. The right phrase, combined with those strong action verbs we talked about, ensures maximum clarity and impact. It really conveys the substance of your work. It's about being, well, intentional with your language choices.
Intentional. I like that. Okay, so we've covered titles, workplaces, action verbs, and phrases for responsibilities. What else shapes our professional story?
Well, very few people work in total isolation.
True. We're usually part of a team, right?
Exactly. We're all part of a larger ecosystem, whether it's a small team or a massive department. Describing your position within that team adds really important context.
Ah, right. It helps paint a fuller picture of your professional life, shows how you interact.
Absolutely. It helps people understand your role in the bigger machine, how you fit into the organizational puzzle. So here's some essential phrases for that team context.
Okay, team talk. Let's hear it.
You could say, I work with a team of number people. Pretty straightforward. For example, I work with a team of 5 other developers.
Okay, simple enough.
Or you could say, I'm part of the department name team, like I'm part of the sales team. Again, very clear.
And what if you need to explain who you report to? The hierarchy.
Good point. For that, I report directly to the boss's job title is perfect.
Ah, report directly to.
Yes, I report directly to the head of marketing. That immediately tells someone who your direct superior is, gives a sense of the structure.
Okay. And what about working with other teams? Collaboration.
Excellent question. For cross-functional work, I collaborate closely with the other department is a great phrase.
Collaborate closely with.
Nice. Yeah. I collaborate closely with the design team to create new features. This shows how your work integrates with others, and it highlights your interpersonal skills too.
Very useful. And of course, if you're the one leading the team.
Right. If you are a leader, you'd simply say, I manage a team of number people. For instance, I manage a team of 3 junior analysts.
Manage a team. Okay, these are all really practical. Let's try and bring this to life. Maybe a quick dialogue in practice.
Good idea. Let's set the scene.
Okay, imagine you're at a networking event, a bit noisy maybe. You strike up a conversation with someone. Let's call her Sarah. You've just introduced yourselves.
Got it. I'll be Sarah.
Okay, as yourself. So, Sarah, you mentioned you're in tech. What kind of work do you do?
As Sarah. Oh, hi. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. I work as a UX designer for a fintech startup. It's pretty exciting, actually. I'm responsible for designing the user interface for our new app. Making sure it's intuitive and really user-friendly.
Yeah.
What about you? Your role sounds intriguing.
As you. That sounds interesting. UX is such a critical field right now. Well, I'm a project manager at a construction company. My job involves coordinating the different teams on site, the engineers, architects, construction crews, and basically making sure the project stays on schedule and, importantly, within budget.
As Sarah.
As you. I'm actually in charge of a team of about 15 people, sort of overseeing everything from the initial planning right through to execution.
As Sarah. Wow, that sounds like a lot of responsibility, a lot of coordination, too. Do you work primarily with internal teams, or do you also deal with external clients and vendors?
That's a great question. My job definitely involves collaborating closely with our external suppliers, getting materials sorted, and yes, handle all the client communications to keep them updated on progress. A typical day for me includes, well, honestly, a lot of problem solving.
As Sarah, I can imagine it sounds like you really need strong leadership skills for that kind of role.
Normal voice. Okay, scene. Did you, listening out there, catch how naturally those phrases flowed in that short exchange?
Yeah, it wasn't forced, was it?
Not at all. Sarah used, I work as a UX designer, and I'm responsible for designing. And you said I'm a project manager. My job involves coordinating. I'm in charge of a team.
And even collaborating closely with and handle all the client communications.
Exactly. It just flows when you have these structures kind of ready to go in your mental toolkit.
It really does. And, to make the conversation even deeper, more human, and truly memorable.
The next level.
Yeah, you need to go beyond just listing tasks. This is where you discuss skills, challenges, and what you enjoy.
The personal touch.
Exactly. This is where you can show some personality, some passion. And here's a maybe surprising fact. Research often shows people are more memorable, not necessarily for their impressive title or a dry list of duties, but for the story behind their work. What they love, maybe even the challenges they overcome. It's that personal connection, not just the professional one, that truly sticks.
I absolutely love this part because this is how you turn that, dry job description into an engaging story where you actually connect with someone on a human level.
Precisely. So let's look at some essential phrases for having that deeper conversation.
Okay. How do we talk about what we enjoy?
You can simply say, what I enjoy most about my job is, and then add the thing you enjoy.
Like,
what I enjoy most is the creative freedom I have, or maybe what I enjoy most is working with such a dedicated team.
Nice. Or another way.
You could use, I find it really rewarding when. This focuses on the positive outcome.
Rewarding when.
Yeah. Like, I find it really rewarding when a client is happy with our work and we've truly solved their problem. Or, I find it really rewarding when I see my team succeed.
That really shows passion. Okay, what about the flip side? The challenges. We all have them.
We certainly do. And sharing them makes you relatable. A straightforward phrase is, the most challenging part of my job is.
Simple enough.
For instance, the most challenging part is meeting tight deadlines. Or, the most challenging part is managing unexpected roadblocks. Everyone can relate to deadlines and unforeseen issues, right?
Oh, absolutely. It creates an instant connection, like you said.
It does. And finally, to highlight the qualities or ability that your role demands, you can use, my job requires, followed by the skills.
Okay, so my job requires.
Those strong communication skills and meticulous attention to detail. Or maybe a lot of resilience and problem-solving ability.
Meticulous. Good word.
It is. Now, what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how a little bit of vulnerability or just sharing what truly resonates with you can make your description so much more powerful.
Vulnerability. In a professional context.
Well, maybe authenticity is a better word. Sharing what you enjoy or what you find challenging humanizes the conversation. People ask, what do you do? Not just for a job title, but often out of genuine curiosity about someone else's life, their experiences.
That's true. We're curious beings.
Exactly. So when you share a challenge, like maybe dealing with bureaucracy, you create a connection because nearly everyone can identify with that on some level.
Chuckles. Definitely relate to that one.
Right. And when you share what you love, perhaps the opportunity to innovate and solve complex problems, you show passion, you show purpose.
So instead of just the facts, you add the feeling.
Precisely. Saying something like, honestly, sometimes the hardest part is navigating complex regulations, but the feeling of seeing a sustainable community project completed makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Well, that's a far more memorable and human response than just a list of tasks.
Yeah, it tells a story. Makes you a real person, not just a job title on a LinkedIn profile or business card.
Exactly. It builds that connection.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got the vocabulary, the structures, the examples, even how to make it personal and truly memorable. Now, what's left?
Oh, now we add that final polish.
The pop.
It's about pronunciation. Because knowing the words is one thing, but saying them with confidence, clarity, and the right rhythm is another. You've got the words, now let's make sure they sound just as confident.
Okay, bring on the pronunciation, Jim. Let's work out some tricky words.
All right, first exercise. Let's tackle colleague. C-O-L-L-E-E-G-U-E. It's pronounced K-league.
K-league, emphasis on the first bit.
Exactly. The emphasis is on that first syllable, K-O, and the E sounds like a long E sound, like in league. So not co-league, but co-league.
Got it. K-league. That's a good one. People often stumble there, especially with that E sound. What's next on our list?
Next up, a longer one, responsibility. Quite a few syllables here.
Okay, break it down for us.
The key is where you put the stress. It's responsibility. That BI syllable right in the middle is where the main emphasis falls.
Responsibility. Okay.
Try it slowly. Responsibility. Finding that stress makes it flow much better.
That's a mouthful, but breaking it down really helps. Finding that stressed syllable is key.
It really is. Then we have entrepreneur, another long one, and this one has a French origin, which can make it a bit tricky.
The French influence. How does this one go?
Think of it in parts. Entrepreneur. That last syllable, nar, gets the main stress. It's kind of like the sound in Blair, but maybe a bit longer. Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Okay. That's a great breakdown. I know many people struggle with that one, maybe putting stress too early.
It's common. And then a shorter one, but still sometimes tricky. Analyze. A-N-A-L-Y-Z.
Analyze. Where's the stress?
This one is analyze. The stress is firmly on the very first syllable, not A-N-A. Hear that crisp A at the start. Analyze.
Analyze. Got it. And finally, the age-old debate. Schedule.
Juckles. Yeah, schedule. We've got two main pronunciations here, both perfectly correct. It just depends mostly on geography.
Okay, lay them out for us.
Right. So for American English, it's typically schedule, like.
Schedule.
And for British English, it's more commonly schedule, like shed.
Ship.
Both are widely understood. Both are perfectly acceptable. The advice here is usually just choose the one you prefer, or the one used where you are, and stick with it for consistency.
Be consistent. Good advice.
The important thing is feeling comfortable and confident with whichever one you choose.
Fantastic. Okay, so now that our pronunciation muscles are warmed up,
Ready for the workout?
it's your turn to practice. Because, knowing is one thing, but doing is really where the learning happens.
Absolutely. Practice makes perfect, or at least much better.
Here are a couple of practical exercises you can do right now, or maybe later today, to truly internalize what we've discussed.
Okay, exercise 1.
First, the classic elevator pitch. Imagine you step into an elevator and standing right next to you is, I don't know, the CEO of a company you really admire.
High stakes.
Exactly. You've got about 30 seconds, maybe the ride from the ground floor to the 10th floor, to describe your job and your key responsibilities. What do you say?
Ooh, that's tough. Forces you to be concise.
Totally. Prepare it. Practice it out loud. Maybe even time yourself. What are the absolute essentials you want to convey in that short, high-stakes moment?
This exercise is fantastic because it forces clarity. You have to strip away all the fluff, all the unnecessary details, and focus purely on impact. It really hones your ability to prioritize information.
Which is a valuable skill in any language, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, what's the second exercise?
For an even deeper dive into clarity, try this. Simplify for a child.
Explain your job to a 10-year-old.
Exactly. This is a brilliant exercise for stripping away all the jargon, all the technical terms, and finding the most essential, easy to understand vocabulary.
Okay, I can see how that would work.
If a 10-year-old can grasp the basics of what you do, anyone can. It forces you to think about the core value you provide, the fundamental purpose of your work.
This is often harder than it sounds, actually, but it really reveals the core of your work in a simple, maybe even profound way. It's an excellent way to consolidate all the essential vocabulary and concepts we've talked about today.
Make sure you really understand it yourself.
Precisely. You can't explain it simply if you don't understand it deeply.
All right, so let's do a quick recap then. We've covered quite a bit. We started with common job titles, crucial workplace vocabulary,
Company, department, remote work, all that.
and how those powerful action verbs manage, lead, analyze, create can really transform your descriptions from passive to compelling.
Making it sound active and skilled.
Then we tackled those tricky prepositions. Remember, it's usually at or for companies, but in for departments or industries. A small word, big difference.
That's a key takeaway.
We gave you essential phrases to detail your responsibilities, like I'm responsible for, or my job involves, or I handle.
And I'm in charge of for leadership.
Right, and we showed you how to talk about your team and collaborations using phrases like I work with, or I collaborate closely with. We even did that little role play to see it in action.
Bringing it to life. And then we closed out by emphasizing the human element.
Yeah, the important part.
How discussing what you enjoy, the challenges you face, maybe the skills your job requires, how that can truly deepen the conversation, makes you memorable not just for what you do, but for who you are in your role.
Turning a description into a connection.
Exactly. And of course, we worked on some of those tricky pronunciations, colleague, responsibility, entrepreneur, just to help build that speaking confidence.
Polish it off.
Yeah. You know, if we connect this to the bigger picture, mastering these phrases and structures isn't just about, well, correct grammar or having a bigger vocabulary list.
It's more than that.
It really is. It's about effective communication. It's about confidence.
Hmm.
It's about being able to articulate your professional value clearly and also connect with others on a deeper, more human level.
So practice is key.
Consistent practice, definitely. Even just 5 minutes a day, maybe describing your job to yourself in the mirror or to a friend, can make a huge difference in your fluency and just your overall comfort level.
Indeed. Because fundamentally, speaking about what we do is, well, it's telling a part of who we are.
It's part of our identity for many of us.
It's an opportunity to share your passion, your challenges, your unique contribution. So the final thought for you listening is, how will you use these tools, these phrases, these ideas to inspire and inform about your unique professional journey?
Something to think about.
And that's our deep dive for today. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to explore the other videos on our channel to continue your English practice.